Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be trying out a new hash brown recipe, and you guessed it right, I'm going to be making it in the air fryer, so please make sure you stay tuned. So it's quite a nice simple recipe. We don't need too many ingredients. So 2 medium potatoes, and I'm going to be using olive oil, but you can use vegetable oil, sunflower oil, so avocado oil as well. And I'm going to be using a little bit of sea salt and onion granules, but you can actually use smoked paprika, you can use chili flakes, you can use Cajun seasoning, whatever seasoning you wish to use. The recipe asks for onion granules, so I'm going to be using this. And also I'm going to be grating a little bit of mild cheddar cheese on the top, but again you can leave the cheese out of it to make it vegan. So what I'm going to be doing, I will be washing the potatoes, peeling the potatoes, and I'll be grating them, and I will have to actually soak these for about 20 minutes. So that will be the time consuming part really. After I grated them, soak them in cold water, so wash them, soak them, because the starch will be coming out of the potatoes. So that's kind of the secret of a lovely hash brown. So let me just crack on doing that, and I'm gonna get back to you as soon as I shredded everything and I measured the spices out as well. So I shall see you in a tick. So I washed and grated my potatoes, and this is cold water. So when you put water, cold water, on the potatoes, make sure you give it a bit of a stir. I'm just gonna show you. So this is the grater that I used, and I also measured out the seasoning. So I've got half a teaspoon of sea salt and half a teaspoon of onion powder and 1.5 tablespoons of oil. And I grated a little bit of cheese. I actually use a finer grater for that one because it's going to be, I think, easier to kind of spread it on the top while it's in the air fryer. And again, you put as little or as much cheese as you want. We won't be flipping it over in the air fryer. So now I'm just going to be setting the timer for 20 minutes because we just have to let it soak. And after it's soaked, I will have to keep rinsing it, but I will get back to you anyway. But while we are waiting, I thought I would tell you a little bit about the history of hash brown. So hash browns originated from the 19th century, and they were very popular in New York, especially in the hotels. And the first time it was mentioned was actually in 1888 in one of the cookbooks that was written by Maria Palloa, and it became very popular in New York City as a breakfast, part of a breakfast in the 1890s. But the way we know it as hash brown, we only been using this terminology from the 1970s, so that wasn't too long ago, was it? So I think it's quite interesting though, because well, I actually thought they originate all the way back to the 18th century, but I was kind of 1 century off. It was still a really interesting fun fact. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Let's get back to cooking now. So the 30 minutes is up. I'm going to be washing this, and I'm going to be putting everything, squeezing all the water out, and I'm going to be putting it inside a tea towel because I think you can use paper towel, but I think it's such a waste. And I think it's so much better just put it in a tea towel and just wring it out, because it has to be bone dry pretty much before we put everything together. I washed my little bowl and I rinsed the shredded potatoes loads of time and squeezing them to try to get as much starch out as I can. Most of it obviously comes through in the soaking. And I've got my tea towel, so what I'm going to do, I will just wrap it all up and squeeze all the moisture out. And I'm going to be popping everything in here, get a silicone spatula and mix the potatoes in with the seasoning and a little bit of oil. And I'm going to show you the dish that I'm going to be using in the air fryer. So I got my dried potato shredding mixed with the seasoning and the oil. It was quite amazing to see how much water I managed to squeeze out of the potato, so it still has retained a lot of moisture. So I'm just going to show you what I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using my silicone air fryer container, but I will be lining it with this parchment paper because it's going to be so easy for me to lift everything out when it's all done. I'm going to be using my Ninja air fryer. I'm not preheating it. I never preheat my air fryer, but obviously follow the instructions to your air fryer. And the recipe asks for 370 Fahrenheit, which is about 190 centigrade. So I'm just going to be popping the shredded potatoes in this little dish. I'll be flattening everything down because I want to make sure that it's all nicely even in the dish. So I'm really happy with this. It's nicely flattened and it's a fair bit of potatoes in there, to be honest. So I'm just going to be popping this in one of the Ninja drawers because it's a double drawer air fryer that I've got. So I got my Ninja air fryer, put it in the first drawer. So I'm just going to pop it on now. So we are using the first drawer, so I put it on. So press 1, press air fry, and it's preset to 200, but we don't want 200. We want 190, and the recipe says anything between 15 to 18 minutes. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce it to 10 minutes because I want to have a look. We'll have a look together because then I will judge if the cheese will have to go on the top or if we have to wait for another couple of minutes, a few minutes before we pop the grated cheese on the top, because we don't want to put it on too soon, otherwise the cheese will just get burned. So I shall see you all back here in 10 minutes and we'll have a look at the lovely hash brown. 10 minutes is up. Let's have a little peek. Browning quite nicely. I'm going to give it another 5 minutes, I think, before I pop the cheese on the top because it still needs a little bit more cooking to do. I'll pop it back for another 5 minutes. Fry 190 and turn it down to 5 minutes. So it will be in the air fryer for 15 minutes at the end of this. Five minutes is up, so it's been in the air fryer for 15. Let's have a little peek. It's nice and crispy. What I'm going to do, I'm pushing down a little bit just to check. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the cheese on the top now and I'm going to pop it back for another 3 minutes and we'll have a look because I think it's almost there. So it's been in there for about 15 minutes, so I don't think it's going to be too long now. So I popped the cheese on the top. It's quite nice and quite easy to put this cheese on it, to be honest. I think it was better to grate it smaller than leaving it a little bit chunkier. So I said going to pop it back, hopefully for the last 3 minutes now. Turn it down and put it on for 3 minutes and it will be all 18 minutes, which is the required cooking time, but we'll see if we need to pop it back again. So time is up and let's have a look. Cheese seems to be melted really nicely. A little bit of resistance, I would say. I don't know if you can hear it. Bit of crunchiness. So what I'm going to do, because it's been in for 18 minutes, which is what the recipe said, I can still feel a little bit of resistance, so I don't think it's quite done yet. So 18 minutes, but I'm going to pop it back for another 2 minutes just to be on the safe side. Here we go, so it will be 20 minutes, a little bit over. There you go. So after this 2 minutes, it will be 20 minutes altogether, and I have a feeling it will be enough for the hash browns. I can't wait to have a look and try it out. So the moment of truth, 20 minutes in the air fryer. Good. I think this is done. Obviously some bits are a little bit crispier than the other one. It's pretty good actually. So what I'm gonna do, I take it all out and I'm gonna put it on a wire rack and I will let it cool down a little bit and we're gonna have a look at this together and have a taste test as well. The most important bit. So I pulled it out of the drawer now. You see how nice and clean it is. This parchment paper is an absolute lifesaver. So just gonna have a look. Looks so nice. Wow, looks amazing. So I have to wait until it's cooled down a little bit, but I definitely can't wait to tuck in. It's a perfect side dish to go with pretty much anything. I waited until it's cooled down and I did an initial taste test because this recipe says do not flip the hash brown, but I don't know if you can see it. I thought it was just quite crunchy, but this is actually not cooked. So trial and error today. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pop this back into the air fryer and I'm gonna put it on 190 for about 10 minutes and hopefully the bottom of the hash brown will be cooked as well. This is quite disappointing today because I followed the recipe to the T and you know the bottom of the hash brown is really underdone. So I'm gonna pop it back for 10 minutes and then I'm gonna take it out and we're gonna have a look at this together and hopefully it will be cooked through. But so far with this recipe I'm not that impressed, to be honest. So another 10 minutes is up. Still resistance. So it's been in the air fryer for 20 minutes now. That is a long time. I'm gonna put it back for another 5. I don't think it's cooked through yet. After this, I hope it will be all done. Time is up again. Let's have a look. So this is after I flipped it. I think this is finally done, but I will have to take it out and let it cool down a little bit before I can give it a test. But it's just, it seems like a bit of a waste of time today because obviously we had to do 20 minutes soaking and 20 minutes in the air fryer and plus another 10 minutes. So it's been almost an hour and I'm not convinced that it's totally done. So I'm going to get back to you as soon as I find out. So fingers crossed. I just had another taste test. When it's all dried out around the edges, the inside I would say the potato is al dente. But I'm not going to put it back now. What we're going to do, we're probably going to have it with loads of mayonnaise. But, well, time not very well spent, to be honest. I think we're probably just going to stick to the store-bought one. Unless you have a really good recipe that I can try in the air fryer, please make sure you put it in the comment. I do hope that you did stick around until the end because this recipe turned out totally differently from how I expected it at the beginning of this video. But trial and error, right? You never know with new recipes. And it was a 5-star recipe as well. Greatly disappointing. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure you put it in a comment how your hash brown turned out if you tried any in the air fryer. And thank you very much for coming back today if you're an existing viewer. And thank you very much for finding me if you're a new viewer. Please don't forget to check out one of our favorite recipes. And it's actually the banana loaf. It should be up on my channel now. It was a smashing one. We absolutely loved it. So have a lovely day, everybody. I can't wait to see you in the next one. Take care. Goodbye for now.